Hello everyone, my name is Paul Cotting. I'm the product manager here at Hortonworks for SmartSense, and today we're going to be walking through a quick example of how to get SmartSense up and running on an existing HDP cluster. So we're going to go ahead and start by downloading SmartSense. SmartSense is available right within the Hortonworks support portal on the Tools tab. So if you click on Tools, you'll be able to see a list of all the different OSs that we support, along with the link for documentation, so you can follow along with the installation process at home, as well as your SmartSense ID. So in this case, we're going to grab our SmartSense ID here. I'm just going to copy it to my clipboard, and we'll be using this during the installation process, as well as the account name, Hortonworks Incorporated. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is download the version of SmartSense for my operating system, which is CentOS 6. I'm going to go ahead and agree to the terms. Great, so now that SmartSense is downloaded, I'm going to go ahead and SCP that from my local laptop to the instance that is running Ambari. Now I'm going to switch over to that specific host. This host has the Ambari server running on it. So what I'm going to go ahead and do now is I'm going to install the SmartSense RPM. Now that it's installed, I can just simply run HST add to Ambari, and then it's going to ask where the specific RPM that I just downloaded is. I'm going to say root. I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste the RPM here. In order for me to install SmartSense into Ambari, I need to restart Ambari to make it aware that we've installed a new service. So I'm going to go ahead and say yes to restart an Ambari server. Great. Once the Ambari server has been restarted, I can go back to Ambari. Now that all my service states have been updated, I'm going to go ahead and add the service via the Actions menu. Click on SmartSense, click Next. I'm going to choose to install my SmartSense HST server on the same node that's running Ambari. By default, there will be agents that will automatically be deployed to every node in this cluster, so I don't have to choose where to put my agents. So at this point, I need to enter my account name, my SmartSense ID, and my notification email. I say Hortonworks Incorporated. And go back to the support portal here, grab my SmartSense ID. Put in my email address. And in my case, I don't have 10 gigabytes of free space as I'm just installing this on a VM. Normally, in a production environment, we would want you to use a bundle storage directory that has enough free space to be able to store quite a few bundles over time. And since the bundles that we will be producing with SmartSense contain configuration metrics and log files, sometimes these can be, the bundles themselves can be fairly large depending on the size of the cluster. So in order, just for example purposes, I'm going to set our minimum size requirement for the storage directory to 0 gigabytes. Since this is a Kerberos cluster, I'm going to go ahead and type in my admin principal and information about my Kerberos environment. And I'm ready to deploy. Now that SmartSense has been successfully deployed, I'm going to go ahead and click Next to finish our installation process. So at this point, our service is now part of Ambari. We can see the SmartSense service here. If I click on configs, we can see the information that we had previously specified during the installation process. How we actually capture data with SmartSense is using a view. In this case, that view won't be activated yet until we have restarted Ambari. So I'm going to go ahead and just do the Ambari server restart here real quick. During the Ambari server restart, it's going to rescan its directory that contains all of the installed views, and it will be picked up so that when we get back into Ambari, we should see the SmartSense view automatically deployed and activated for us. Now that the Ambari server has started back up, I can go ahead and access the SmartSense view from the Views menu. If you notice, I'm just going to open the menu and click on SmartSense View. Once a view has been loaded, we can see we have two intents for data capture. The first is SmartSense Analysis, which is pre-configured to capture configuration and metrics for all services and all nodes in the cluster. If we're being more selective and we're capturing data for specific services in the cluster and maybe even for specific hosts as part of troubleshooting a support case, we can go ahead and click on Support Case Troubleshooting. There we can choose all services, or we can sub-select specific services. We can also select individual hosts that we'd like to perform that capture on, or all hosts. Finally, we can enter in a case number and hit Capture. This capture process is going to be initiated on every node that we've chosen by the Ambari Agent Framework. So I'm going to go ahead and hit Yes so we can see the status of our capture in process. We can see if we click around through these different tabs here, which specific hosts are participating in the collection, which ones are still working on collecting that data, and which ones have successfully uploaded that data to the HST server itself. Once every host has completed its capture, we'll go ahead and mark the entire bundle as complete and give you the opportunity to download that support case bundle. When you click on the link to download, you'll be downloading a tar.gz file, and this can easily be uploaded to support. If you want to capture data for our SmartSense analysis, all you have to do is click on the capture button. At that point, like I said before, we have a pre-configured capture just for configuration metrics for all hosts, all services, and we're going to go ahead and capture that data and pack it up into a bundle very similarly, but that specific bundle will be encrypted by default, and only our SmartSense analysis environment can decrypt that data. Now that our SmartSense bundle has been captured, we can go ahead and download it. If I click on this link, by default I'm going to download an encrypted bundle. But if I'm working with my security team to better understand exactly what's being captured as part of this process, I can also download an unencrypted bundle for review with them. Once I have my SmartSense bundle, we can easily upload it via SFTP to our SmartSense environment. Once that bundle has been uploaded, then you will receive an email letting you know that we've received your bundle, and when the recommendations are ready for review, you can review the recommendations for your cluster in the Hortonworks support portal. So now we're going to go ahead and take a look at what our recommendations look like in the support portal. If I go back to the support portal here, I can see the tab next to Tools where we downloaded the utility is a SmartSense tab. If I click on SmartSense, I can take a look at all the different clusters that I have in my environment that I've uploaded bundles for. We're going to go ahead and take a look at our lake cluster, and we'll see specific recommendations that have been produced for this cluster. Each of these recommendations are ordered by priority, so we have our most critical recommendations listed first, followed by our high, medium, and low priority recommendations. If we take a look at these in detail, we can see we have specific recommendations focusing on disabling a Linux feature called transparent huge pages. So we have the description of what we're looking to accomplish, what we've found, what recommendations we have, and finally how to apply that specific recommendation. We also have other recommendations that are focused on operations, security, and performance. Once you've applied a specific recommendation, you can click on Resolve and let us know if it helped you. If it did help you, then you can let us know how much it helped and any comments that we could use to maybe improve our recommendation for other customers. If for whatever reason you don't feel that's applicable for your environment, Maybe it's a situation where you're running later versions of Red Hat or CentOS in which transparent huge pages doesn't have as much of an impact. You can let us know that as well. And finally, if it's something that you intend to apply later, maybe it's on your internal roadmap, you can let us know that you're choosing to defer the recommendation at that time. And this concludes our demo. So I want to thank you for your time and encourage you to visit our website, hortonworks.com, for more information on SmartSense, including a white paper, webinar, and information about how you can get started. Take care.